Hi, my name is Brooke Kivi, and I am a high school math teacher in Tucson, Arizona. I have some specific dispositions I have adopted in my teaching that I feel aid the most in my overall effectiveness. I've also identified some areas I know I can improve on, and I'm a passionate teacher. I understand that beyond my individual practices, there are some fundamental truths about how an educator should conduct themselves. To begin with my personal effective dispositions. What I think makes me a successful teacher is my dedication to fairness, positivity, and reflection at all times. I strive to remain fair to my students. I make sure to go over all of my classroom expectations explicitly within the first and second days of school. I also post my expectations within my classroom so students see them every single day. I give daily reminders of my expectations, specifically about cell phone use, to students, and I stress maintaining an environment of mutual respect. Whenever a student misbehaves or does not follow an expectation, I make sure to match my reaction to that behavior. And I do my best to address all issues with the individual student. I often conference with students individually if I see something is going wrong, and I like to approach students first with the question of what's going on? How are things going? Is everything okay? And I find that that helps maintain an overall sense of positivity and doesn't make the student feel like they're in trouble. And sometimes things are just happening, so I feel like that's a fair approach. Whenever addressing students or the entire class, I stress remaining calm and positive. I use phrases like, not there yet, and I know you can do it, when correcting or redirecting behavior. I like to let students know that I like all of them and that I'm happy they're in my room, even if it might not be true in that exact moment. I continually reflect on my teaching, and I value input from veteran teachers who observe my practices. I've had a lot of meaningful conversations with academic coaches and with administrators so far this year after they've done their informal and formal observations. And I really do value others who have more experience doing it than I do. I think that that's very, very helpful. Whenever I try something new, a new strategy, I like to consider what went well and what I can change for the next time I try it. I often change my delivery of a lesson throughout the school day as I improve on each Algebra 1 class I teach. I am committed to the profession of learning because I seek out training opportunities as well. Now to the dispositions I feel like I can improve on. I definitely feel like I can improve on my curiosity and my advocacy as a teacher. As for curiosity, what I mean by that is I'm a very direct instructor. I'm a very big fan of the gradual release of responsibility model, and I don't often deviate from the I do, we do, you do model. Though I do know how effective discovery-based learning is for students. I find that that model, while very effective, requires a lot more planning. And so it's not something I've really added to my teacher toolbox yet, but I would like to work on that. My goal for myself for this year and for next year is to add in at least one discovery-based learning element into a lesson at least every 2 weeks. I'd like to get to more often, but we'll start there for now. And as far as advocacy goes, what I mean by that is I think that I struggle to make meaningful connections with students outside of the classroom. I feel like I have good rapport with my students within the classroom. I do, again, stress that environment of mutual respect, but I think that I can definitely improve on working on finding out details of students' lives, discovering their interests and connecting with them more authentically and using those interests and understanding them and relating to them a little bit more. And while this describes my personal dispositions and where I feel like I'm strong and where I feel like I'm weak, I do think that overall, as educators, we have some dispositions that we can all adopt and that we should all strive for. I really think that all educators should hold themselves to a high standard. I think that an educator should be professionally dressed, prepared, and punctual. I think a dedicated teacher should be a constant model for the behaviors that they expect from students. Specifically, teachers should be kind, fair, honest, patient, and they should demonstrate a growth mindset. When teaching, it should be clear to students that the instructor is confident in their knowledge of the material and that the lesson has been well thought out and that the lesson has clear structure. Teachers should also model these behaviors in interacting with colleagues. Professional interactions should be warm and supportive, and all conflicts should be dealt with in a mutually respectful manner. Teachers should be motivated to behave this way, to act professionally, and to model politeness, because they should have respect for the profession. Teachers should have some reverence for what they do and for the influence that they can have over students. An individual's education level is usually a metric for their success in life. Teachers should value the opportunity to help so many individuals understand the importance of education and to help set as many of them as possible on the right path in life. Overall, an educator's effectiveness in students' lives depends on how they approach the profession. I will always strive to keep improving and to maintain a high level of commitment to educational dispositions. Thank you.